If you do these 5 things, you will win with money 100% of the time. Number 1, you need to have a written plan, a budget. No one accidentally wins. Second thing is you got to get out of debt. Your most powerful wealth-building tool is your income. And when you spend your whole freaking life giving your money to banks who fill up the skyline and have furniture nicer than yours, that makes you stupid. Number 3, live on less than you make. You need to decide that my life is not good enough the way it is, and so I am going to control the controllables. I am going to change some things. And then you're going to save some money. You know how rich people get rich? They save money. And if you'll get out of debt and you'll invest and you live on less than you make and you have a plan, then you can do the last one. It's the most fun you'll ever have with money. You can be outrageously generous.
People that are successful are the ones that are working on the business as opposed to in the business. So every time I see an entrepreneur and I see that they're working in the business, I'm like, okay, dude, you're not going anywhere. You can't scale working in the business. You got to think, how do I work on this business to make it this kind of its own living, breathing thing that operates without me? People that are successful are the ones that are working on the business as opposed to in the business. So every time I see an entrepreneur and I see that they're working in the business, I'm like, okay, dude, you're not going anywhere. You can't scale working in the business. You got to think, how do I work on this business to make it this kind of its own living, breathing thing that operates without me?
This quote inspires me to keep going. And it says, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. And the most certain way to succeed is always to try." One more time. Listen to that again. This quote inspires me to keep going. And it says, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. And the most certain way to succeed is always to try." One more time. Listen to that again.
How can somebody become a millionaire in 2024?
3 things about money. And trust me, you will make a ton of money. I make a lot of money. Number 1, the people in the business of money make money. Don't ever forget that. Anytime wealth is transferred from one hand to the other, somebody is in the middle that is helping to transfer the wealth. Whoever that person is also becomes wealthy. Number 2, you need to own a business. I don't care what anybody says, because there are 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you're sleeping, 8 hours you're working, how much hours you have left. It doesn't matter how hard working you are, you're never going to make $1 million just doing a job. The third thing, it is harder to go from $0 to $100,000. I just want you to know that. Than to go from 100 to $1 million. The moment you make your 6 figures, you can have to multiply yourself and your efforts, because you alone can't do it.
You got to learn how to delegate pretty much.
You have to learn how to delegate, and that will blow your income.
Quick question for you, and this one might be uncomfortable, but if you've tried everything, you've been kind, you've communicated, you've begged, you've pleaded, you've forgiven over and over again, what would bring you more peace? Continuing to adjust your boundaries to their disrespect, or adjusting your life to their absence?
Focus on your finances. What's a necessity? What's just for enjoyment? Let's cut out the enjoyment until we're in a position where we really on our feet. I've done it before. I've done it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to push yourself. You got to challenge yourself. You got to push yourself, and being great, it won't be easy.
Yeah, the sacrifice is always worth it.
Most definitely.
Right. Always.
Nobody ever said being at the top would be easy, so you can't expect that.
That's right.
I don't expect for nothing to be easy. Let's put in the work, let's get there, and we'll thank ourselves later.
How can somebody become a millionaire in 2024?
3 things about money. And trust me, you will make a ton of money. I make a lot of money. Number 1, the people in the business of money make money. Don't ever forget that. Anytime wealth is transferred from one hand to the other, somebody is in the middle that is helping to transfer the wealth. Whoever that person is also becomes wealthy. Number 2, you need to own a business. I don't care what anybody says, because there are 24 hours in a day. 8 hours you're sleeping, 8 hours you're working, how much hours you have left. It doesn't matter how hard working you are, you're never going to make $1 million just doing a job. The third thing, it is harder to go from $0 to $100,000. I just want you to know that. Than to go from 100 to $1 million. The moment you make your 6 figures, you can have to multiply yourself and your efforts, because you alone can't do it.
You got to learn how to delegate pretty much.
You have to learn how to delegate, and that will blow your income.
Can your business function without you?
No.
Yeah. It's the first thing I ask entrepreneurs, and most of them will tell me no. I said, okay. And then some of them will tell me, yeah, probably. I said, okay. Second question, can your business grow without you? And then most of them will then say no. And so the idea is, how do you create a business that is able to function first and then grow without you being in there. Because if you haven't done that, you've really just bought yourself a job. And so the whole idea about creating a business that has enterprise value is it becomes your largest asset when you do it correctly.
People will always underestimate you. They'll see the steel in your eyes and mistake it for coldness, never realizing it's the fire that's kept you alive. In a world where weakness is a death sentence, they'll talk of loyalty and honor. But when the chips are down, they'll betray you quicker than a blink. So you learn to trust no one but yourself, to rely on your own instincts, your own cunning. If you have watched this far drop a 100, it shows you're a part of the 1% who actually finishes what they start. So in the end, it's not the family name or the fancy titles that matter. It's the choices we make, the risks we take, and the blood we spill to carve our own destiny in this brutal world. You can't rely on other people to be your strength. You have to be your own hero. And the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. People will always underestimate you. They'll see the steel in your eyes and mistake it for coldness, never realizing it's the fire that's kept you alive. In a world where weakness is a death sentence, they'll talk of loyalty and honor. But when the chips are down, they'll betray you quicker than a blink. So you learn to trust no one but yourself, to rely on your own instincts, your own cunning. If you have watched this far drop a 100, it shows you're a part of the 1% who actually finishes what they start. So in the end, it's not the family name or the fancy titles that matter. It's the choices we make, the risks we take, and the blood we spill to carve our own destiny in this brutal world. You can't rely on other people to be your strength. You have to be your own hero. And the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
You could never be me. Because all the losses I took in life and I kept a smile, it would have broke you.
Walk away from anyone or anything that gives you bad vibes. There's no need for explaining yourself. You don't need to feel bad about it. This is your life. You need to make more space for your peace, your happiness, and your mental health. There is no more room for negativity in your future.
I'm obsessed with finding myself now and not having to prove anything to anybody other than myself and my family, but really myself. And realizing that that is enough. Giving your best is enough. And sometimes we lose track of that. So for anybody out there, you know, you're enough.
There's three types of people in this world. It's poor people, it's rich people, and it's wealthy people. The poor people, all they do is talk about money, where my money and I need my money, I got to get my money. The rich people, all they talk about is things. So they talk about my car, my house, and these type of things. The wealthy people talk about ideas. And that's what it's about.
Truth number 10. Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not going to understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're going to end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is go on the journey by yourself. It is the best journey, man. Leveling up, making more money, losing weight, getting fit, becoming the best version of yourself is the most awesomest journey you will ever go on. But it's a journey that you will probably go on by yourself.
Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big, and they think of ways of getting there, not of ways of not getting there. Most people learn how to fail and not to succeed. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. When they developed Tesla, everybody thought, not a new idea. But they were persistent, they were convincing, and they could see something that most people did not see. The same thing with Google, the same thing with Apple. They were providing something that people were looking for, but did not know how to put it together. So if you want to be a billionaire, you have to start thinking what will work and not only what will fail. Billionaires look at their experience and say, this did not work, what can I learn from it? You have to change the way you think. Think about it. Do you want to become a billionaire? Then you have to think like a billionaire. Billionaires do not think about pennies and cents and dollars. They think big, and they think of ways of getting there, not of ways of not getting there. Most people learn how to fail and not to succeed. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. When they developed Tesla, everybody thought, not a new idea. But they were persistent, they were convincing, and they could see something that most people did not see. The same thing with Google, the same thing with Apple. They were providing something that people were looking for, but they did not know how to put it together. So if you want to be a billionaire, you have to start thinking what will work and not only what will fail. Billionaires look at their experience and say, this did not work, what can I learn from it? You have to change the way you think. Think about it.
One thing I could say, I'm proud of myself for not being fake. I might be difficult sometimes, yes. I might have a few screws loose up here, but hey, I'm 100% me, and I'll live with that.
The beginning is always the hardest. Nobody wants to join you when you have nothing. Nobody wants to support you at the start of your journey. But they will when they see your success. They'll call you dreamer at the beginning. They'll call you for advice in the end.
There are two types of mindset. There is a fixed mindset and there is a growth mindset. Most people fail in that process because most people live in the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is, this is who I am, this is what I know, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I'm good at, and this is where I'm going to stay. The growth mindset, it says, this is where I am now. This is what I'm good at now. But I recognize that if I go through a particular process, I can grow myself and become a better person. You need to learn to be uncomfortable. You need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And you need to be in a space where you allow yourself to be challenged, but more importantly, in a space where you are willing to be uncomfortable and grow.
Nobody cares what you're going to do. Nobody cares what journey you're going to set out on, what things you plan to accomplish. You are measured not by your goals, but by the results. Anybody can start something. Anybody can have a goal. Anybody can want exactly what you want. And anybody can say that that's what they're going to do. But only few actually go out and do it.
I kept going. Not because I wanted to. Trust me, all of me wanted to stop. I kept going because I deserved to know what not giving up on myself felt like.
What's your advice to entrepreneurs out there looking to make a life for themselves with a business?
Get ready to fail multiple times. Only a third of people can actually make it through entrepreneurship because it's incredibly hard. And if you can't handle that, don't try. Growing a business is almost impossible. It's not get rich overnight. It's going to take years. It's best to be an entrepreneur in your 20s. You have this horrible decision about the balance of time in your life. It's very hard to do it later on when you're free to actually spend 25 hours a day working.
The greatest test that anything could withstand is time. Just give it time. It'll reveal itself.
You can see me tired. You can see me broke. You can see me failing. You can see me in pain. But you will never, ever see me giving up.
Education is not the most important thing in your life. I'm sorry, it's not. Your dream is the most important thing in this world. It tops your education. Your dreams dwarf your education. You can save your kids a lot of pain if you ever talk to them about their dreams. You got to talk to young people about their dreams. See, it's not your education. The Bible don't even mention education. It ain't even in there. Harvard ain't in there. UCLA ain't in there. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. If you talk to kids about their dreams, your dreams can spur you to get the education. But if you never find out what a child is dreaming about, you can't hold their attention. It's the dream, man.
For you to become rich and successful is going to require pain and suffering. And you have to understand exactly what your dream life is to make the pain and suffering worthwhile. Have you ever found a really rich man or a very successful man and said, how did you become rich and successful? And he goes, I don't know, bro. I just woke up one day and it kind of happened and now I'm living my dream life. No, there is a very detailed plan and roadmap. Whether you're going to be a public-facing figure like me or a man of the shadows with millions of dollars, you have to design your dream life.
I'm telling you right now, not everybody wants to see you win. And the reality is the bigger your dream, the more they want to shit on it. Most people that you share your dreams with, they're going to be so intimidated because you're going to have to change and become your higher self. You're going to have to become different. You're going to have more commitment. You're going to have to dedicate more time, and that means more time away from them. And that's why most people are like the crabs in a bucket. They want to pull you down and they want to hold you down because they don't want to see you thrive, because you are now going to have to disassociate from them.
If one day you suddenly become rich, please remember these 10 things. 1. Don't tell anyone, including your parents. 2. Pay off all debts owed to friends, banks, and online lenders first. 3. This money has already been transferred to your card. Don't transfer it out. Put it in for 6 months first. 4. Don't buy a house immediately or rent a house in a high-end neighborhood. 5. Don't rush to quit your job immediately. 6. Don't buy a car or luxury goods yet. 7. Don't partner in business with friends, relatives, or classmates. 8. If you have children, do everything possible to prevent them from knowing that you are rich. 9. Maintain the status quo. Act like nothing has changed. 10. Be cautious with big data and avoid indiscriminate sharing.
Go do something. Do the best thing that you can think of. Put the best plan you have into practice. It's not going to be perfect, and it will change along the way. But it will change partly because you become disciplined pursuing the path. And as you become disciplined, you become wiser. And as you become wiser, you become able to formulate better and better plans.
A poor kid once told a millionaire, "I'm going to be rich." Everyone around him laughed, except for the millionaire.
You asked for strength, and you received challenges to become stronger. You asked for a positive mind, and you were thrown into darkness to find your own light. You see, everything has its purpose, so only focus on improving yourself. That's all you can ever do.
If you ask most people what their number one fear is, what do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation, okay? I don't give a fuck anymore.
Be very careful when somebody uses what they know about you to try to take away what's great about you.
I go through a lot. Like, I got PTSD, I be thinking all type of crazy shit. But I feel like the more money I get is the more I'm able to separate myself, elevate, and money solve a lot. So I just plan on focusing to where I could kind of just like put myself in a mind frame where I can't even have time to think about no negative.
The money does not bring happiness. The money can take care of a lot. The money can handle certain things. Does it bring a sense of self-worth? No. Does it bring a sense of self-satisfaction? No. In fact, it's easy to feel a sense of letdown.
I'm making myself a promise to forgive myself for past mistakes and failures, a promise to forget what's behind me and start appreciating the things that's in front of me.
Remember, every morning you have two choices: continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them.
Money is not the most important thing in life, but it is reasonably close to oxygen. I mean, you know, when you need it, you really do need it. And here's something rather fascinating. The more of the things you have that money won't buy, those are the things that will enable you to get more of the things that money will buy.
Results happen over time, not overnight. Keep working. Stay consistent and be patient. Your time is coming.
If you don't love yourself, when someone else says horrible things to you, a part of you is always going to believe them. Yep. Then it was like, okay, I don't want to believe these people. I don't want to agree with them on any level. I want to figure out who I am. I want to learn who I am, and I don't want to feel like I'm fragile every time I leave the house because I'm so dependent on what other people think about me. And I feel like I've arrived in a place where, you know, maybe not every minute of every day, but way more than I used to. I have a tremendous amount of love and compassion for everyone else, and best of all, I have it for myself.
Write this down right now.
I am so happy and grateful now that I have multiple sources of income. I had an affirmation that I used for years, still use it. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. If you write that out every day for the next 30, 60 days, you're going to become very, very aware of having multiple sources of income. And if you keep doing that, ultimately you're going to attract the money.
You know what my problem was? I wanted to take people to the top with me who didn't even want to see me at the top.
A lot of people out there chasing their dream, but their dream is to just be rich, and that's not a dream. If you try to go out and just make money for the purpose of making money, first of all, you could end up in the wrong place due to it. You could be miserable, and then when you get it, if you don't have no goal on why you were trying to achieve this goal, you feel unfulfilled.
Yeah. Here's the thing about life. If it was easy, everyone would have it or have done it. It being hard is what gives it value and meaning, and what separates you from everyone else. You cannot live the ordinary and expect the extraordinary.
Take yourself back to that dark place. That place where you had no hope. And I want you to remember how far you came. We didn't come this far to only come this far.
The day you stop learning is the day you start dying. So always be a student in life. Take that to the bank.
The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain, blame, and quit and settle. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it takes real work to deconstruct and to reconstruct the thought process and the mindset of an individual when they're trying to change something. That's why I always say to people, what's more important, what we acquire or who we become?
My story is pretty simple. I fell, I stood back up, and I learned from my mistakes. And now, I'm coming after everything they said I would never have. You see, I am not what happened to me, but I am what I decide to do next.
When you lose your money, you lose nothing. When you lose your health, you lose something. When you lose your character, you lose everything.
So the best job in the world that I'm about to discuss is the one that doesn't trade your time for money. And that means that you're in control of where you work, when you work, and even how much you work. And most importantly, you're in control of your ability to make money.
I get it now. Me becoming the best version of me requires me getting around better versions of people. I realize everybody can't come with me. And although sometimes it hurts, I gotta do what's best for me.
I am who I am. Say what you want, perceive what you want, and think what you want about me. I'ma always be me. I will never lose sleep over your opinion.
If only we started younger, then we would have been so much better. If we knew back then what we did now, things would change. Here's the thing. Today is the youngest you'll ever be again. And you still have enough time to become all you wanted to be in life. The best time to plant a tree may have been 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
When you are serious about your dreams, be ready to be alone, to be laughed, to lose friends, to face the world, to fail, to be depressed and disrespected.
Worry belongs to tomorrow. Regret belongs to yesterday. Happiness is here and now.
The problem with becoming a millionaire is that when you decide that you want to be a millionaire, you immediately start thinking, how can I become a millionaire? Well, that thought don't just pop into your head, so you get frustrated and you don't become a millionaire.
When they look at you, they not looking at you seeing everything you went through and what you became. When they look at you, they see everything that they're not.
You go higher, you go even more alone. Why? because nobody is willing anymore to invest their energy in going higher, because it's becoming more difficult. They say, oh, it's already okay here. Why you still want to move up there? The air is getting thinner over there. So that means along this way, the higher you want to go, the more likely you're gonna walk alone. This is the next thing.
Success demands 6 things. Number 1, hard work. Don't believe in luck, believe in hard work. Number 2, patience. If you are losing the patience, then you are losing the battle. Number 3, sacrifice. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want becomes the sacrifice. Number 4, consistency. Consistency is what transforms average into excellence. Number 5, discipline. Motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. Number 6, self-confidence. Confidence is not like, they will like me. Confidence is, I'll be fine if they don't like me.
Remember this for the rest of your life. If something makes you happy, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else.
Rule number 65. Nobody watches you harder than the people that don't like you. So give them a show they'll never forget.
The biggest problem in your life is the way that you're speaking, though. If you really want to change your life, you need to stop saying, I have to. Oh, I have to go to the gym. I have to eat healthier. I have to go to work. Have to means it implies that you have no choice. And it shows that you have a victim mindset. So instead, start saying the phrase, I choose to. I choose to go to the gym. I choose to eat healthy food. I choose to go to work. This shows that you are deciding to do these things, and it puts you into a place of power. And so switching you from being a victim in your life to being an empowered person who's taking charge of their life.
They're not going to understand you, bro. They're not going to understand why you skip parties. They're not going to understand why you stop drinking. They're not going to understand why you stay home to work on a Saturday night instead of hit the club. They're going to ask questions. They're going to make comments. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to make you feel like you're the problem. And that's okay, because one day it's going to become very obvious why you did it. You see something that they don't. You see a reality that they don't think is possible. You're trying to achieve something that they think is reserved for the lucky few. And when you do achieve it, they're going to feel very stupid because they're going to wish that they had spent their years chasing a goal instead of chasing a high.
Don't be afraid of what other people say about you for doing that, because, when people say it's not cool or whatever, well, who defines what is cool or what isn't cool? This is just about you, your career, your passion. And if other people, mock you for being different, then I would rather be mocked for being different than being safe. That would just bore me.
Hey, listen, I'm in a season of my life to where I'm minding my own business. If it's negative, I don't want to hear about it. If it's not pertaining to peace or positivity, I don't want to hear about it. If it's talking about somebody else's business, I don't want to hear about it. I'm minding my own business. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, leave me out the loop.
Don't ever take my silence as weakness. I see and noticed everything. I will respond to you when the time is right. And when I do, you will wish you never fucked with me.
1 year from today, you are either going to be thanking yourself or kicking yourself. 1 year from today, you're going to look back at the previous 365 days and you're either going to say, thank God I spent my time doing that, or you're going to say, damn, I wish I spent my time doing that. 1 year from today, you are going to look back at the previous year and you are either going to thank yourself for working hard, for being consistent, for staying disciplined, for sticking through it when things got tough, for eliminating bad habits and adopting good habits, or you're going to look back at the previous year and you're going to kick yourself for spending another year watching Netflix, another year scrolling through social media on your phone, another year skipping your workouts, another year of eating junk food, another year of letting opportunities pass by, another year of being undisciplined, another year, another year, another year. So what's it going to be 1 year from today?
I want you to remember how far you've come and how strong you've become. You should be proud of yourself for still standing, for still smiling, and for never giving up. Your unwavering spirit and resilience are truly admirable and a testament to your character.
Stress doesn't come from hard work. Stress primarily comes
from not taking action over something that you can have some control over.
Every day I get up, I'm ready to just cut people off. I'm ready to throw away all the wrong relationships for all the right reasons. You could be my mama, I do not care. I'm on my mission.
When I can't control what's happening, I control the way I respond. Because some things ain't worth me losing my peace or messing up my energy over.
The biggest mistake we make in life is thinking we have time. Be present, love more, and love now. Pay more attention to how your life feels to you than how it looks to others. Sometimes you need to slow down, remain calm, and simply let life happen. Take a deep breath and focus on the simple, important things. You are alive, you are breathing, and you are enough as you are.
Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. You were able to hear all your past traumas. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that kill people nowadays.
Every day is day one. Every day you're deciding what you're going to do. And you are not trapped by what you were or who you were, or you need self-consistency. Self-consistency even can be a trap. And so day one thinking is we start fresh every day and we get to make new decisions every day. That idea, unless you know a better way, is so important because you never want to get trapped by dogma. You never want to get trapped by history. It doesn't mean you discard history or ignore it. There's so much value in what has worked in the past, but you can't be blindly following what you've done. And that's the heart of day one. You're always starting fresh.
But it's not your job to make people love you, though. Stop trying to be someone else that you're not so that you'll be accepted. It's not your job to change who you are so that you meet someone else's expectations of what they want you to be. What is your job? Your job is to find the truest version of you and be that person. And the people who truly love you will love you for who you are and not who they want you to be.
The biggest key to success is not a morning routine. The biggest key to success is not, well, you have to wake up at 5:30 every morning. Well, I don't wake up at 5:30 every morning. You know when I wake up? Usually when I'm done sleeping. All that's great. I mean, you can set your environment up in a way that you're more likely to win, but the reality is you have to make a decision, and then you have to learn how to understand the difference between a choice and a decision.
Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. We say wrong things. We do wrong things. We fall. We get up. And we learn to grow. We move on. We live. And we thank God for always giving us another chance.
Don't worry about next week, next year. Just focus on every 24 hours that you get, you know? And that's done a lot for me.
What do you think are the 3 habits that keep people poor?
The first habit that keeps people poor is blame. You are 100% accountable for your life, and nobody's coming to save you. If you don't believe that, you'll never create. The other one is the habit of not investing in their skills. I know a lot of people that work hard, they're working hard on the work, they're not working hard on themselves. The third habit, they don't understand money. It's really just
They don't have the knowledge about what money
bad
is.
habits. They're wasteful, they don't spend. Show me your bank account and I'll show you your money beliefs.
You don't have to have money to make money. What you have to have is belief in yourself.
Jump and the net will appear.
Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, this is not a good move. Move towards that challenge and go attack it.
You've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe. And if you want it that bad, if you're willing to give it that much, you get a big piece of what you want. In life, and dreams do come true. Anything you want can happen and become a reality. I believe that sincerely, and I'll die on that thought.
Think about me, I'm not a chaser. If we don't talk, we don't talk. I'm never gonna beg to be in somebody's life, because there was a time I didn't even know you.
That was perfectly fine.
People think that laziness or not doing your task or not picking up a book or not exercising is 100% their fault. No, there's something called conditioning, right? There's something called conditioning, and people have been conditioned to lose. And it's from that conditioning that you must kind of unlock yourself to then recondition your mind. Because if you don't program yourself, somebody will program you.
Don't focus on the past. It's gone. You'll never get it back. Don't worry about the future. It's not here yet. You have to learn to live in this present moment and figure out a way to make it beautiful. And remember that the purpose of your life is nothing else other than to learn to enjoy the passage of time.
The best advice I've ever got in life, he said, open every door that you possibly can. And then he said, the doors that close, let them close, and just keep walking through the ones that remain open.
That's amazing.
Sometimes people pretend that you're a bad person so that they have an excuse to not feel guilty for what they've done to you.
You have to have an unbreakable mindset that no matter what life does to me, no matter what this person does to me, no matter how bad these people betray me, no matter how bad people want to see me fall, I am unbreakable. There's nothing you can do to break me. I will do whatever it takes to win.
Always be ready to survive alone. Some people suddenly change. Today you're important to them. Tomorrow you're nothing to them. That's real life.
There is a price to success. It hurts. Like, you've had to neglect friends.
Yeah.
You've had to neglect certain comments from family members.
Yeah.
You've had to work overnight. And nobody's going to see that. But that's the price. You're going to pay the price regardless of life. You will pay the price of discipline and hard work, or you will pay the price of regret.
Sometimes all I think about is you.